little bit about what you think the campaign's focus on, Nebraska and at least, the way they divide their electoral votes. Why is it important to come here?
Well, look, every vote we feel we need to earn, and every vote is important to us. So although we won Nebraska in 2016 very handily, we feel like we want to make sure we have a solid win, for President Trump here in 2020. So obviously, I've been here several times. My brother-in-law has been here. And look, we're out here showing Nebraskans that we're willing to work for their vote. We want to remind people about the great track record of President Trump, what he's been able to deliver for the American people, and really what's on the line and why it's so important to go out and vote on November 3rd.
A big debate tonight. A lot of people of all parties were real disappointed in the interruptions and the overall, how it turned out last time. What are your predictions for tonight? What should people expect that may have been disappointed the first time around?
Well, I think President Trump's going to be very strong. I think he's going to hopefully have an opportunity to lay out not only, what he's been able to do for the past 4 years for the American people, but what his vision is for the next 4 years. It's been a little frustrating to see the changing rules and the changing topics from kind of what we originally thought they would be. But nonetheless, the president's going to do great. I expect that he'll be very strong against Joe Biden. And look, I think the American people deserve some answers from Joe Biden. He hasn't answered many questions since the revelations came out that he knew full well that his family was using his position as vice president to profit from foreign governments, using his son Hunter Biden. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but it may be up to the president to bring that up. We'll see.
Do you think that should be a focus? A lot of Americans are concerned that there won't be focus on issues when we're talking about, laptop conspiracy theories like they did last cycle.
Well, this is not a conspiracy theory. It's been validated that this was indeed Hunter Biden's laptop. People who were on those emails have said exactly what we have read is the truth. And it is troublesome. And I think the American people deserve to hear from Joe Biden. He's told us he had no idea about this. So if that's the case, then he's already lied to the American people about that. And when you have someone who's using their position as vice president, potentially president of the United States, these are very important topics to people, and I think we need to know that our elected officials are not compromised at any level, especially someone that is running for president of the United States. But look, the American people have a lot of things they would like to hear about. They'd love to hear about how we're going to get this economy back on track. The president has been very clear about the fact that he wants to lower taxes one more time, that he wants to help the American people get back on our feet and get back to the great economy that he's already produced one time for this country. Joe Biden, on the other hand, has many socialist policies, wants to implement the Green New Deal, wants open borders, wants to defund our police. These are very scary things for the people of this country. He's already said he wants to raise taxes by $4 trillion for 82% of Americans. How do you come out of a pandemic and get people back on their feet? These are also topics I think that we're going to hear about tonight.
Go ahead. How different than what Biden's family is doing than what the president is doing with his businesses while in office?
Well, here's the difference, is that when Donald Trump took office, our family got out of international business. We did no new international business deals. We have done everything possible to make sure we are following the rules. We've actually gone above and beyond following the rules. Anytime a foreign dignitary stays at a Trump property, we reimburse the Treasury for all the money that they spend at a Trump property. Very different than the Biden family, who got into international business after Joe Biden took the office of the vice presidency. So these couldn't be more different. We have very clearly seen that there is an issue at hand when it comes to the Biden family. It's been very lucrative for them using the Biden name while Joe Biden was vice president of the United States to receive tens of millions of dollars for their family from foreign entities. It's concerning to a lot of people.
Oh, the big issue right now is COVID. Your father-in-law has said he wouldn't do anything differently. Do you agree with that? And also, the previous administration literally left a playbook about how to deal with pandemics.
Well, the previous administration depleted the stockpile of N95 masks and left it, completely untouched for, a situation like this. The president had a situation we've never seen in the modern history of America, a global pandemic that was a novel virus, a pathogen we had never seen. We had to invent testing for it. Never once was there a single person in this country who needed a ventilator that went without them, because this president partnered government with the private sector in order to mass produce ventilators. We heard at the beginning of this pandemic, we could see upwards of 2 million deaths. And while every death is too many, one is too many, and our hearts go out to everyone, of course, who's had to deal with this in their own families. Look, the president every step of the way has been looking out for the American people, not just on their health, but also their bottom line, their pocketbooks. The Paycheck Protection Program allowed small businesses to stay afloat at an unprecedented time like this, allowed people to weather the storm. We now see that we have therapeutics that the president himself has proven work with his bout with COVID. He has come out on the other side. He's doing great. We know that those therapeutics work, and we're going to have a vaccine very soon, years ahead of any vaccine ever in the United States of America. So look, this has been challenging for all Americans, but the president, I believe, has done an incredible job. Thank goodness Joe Biden wasn't in the White House in January, because when the president stopped travel coming to the United States from China, Joe Biden called it xenophobic and fear-mongering, and we know he wouldn't have done that. Now we know he had very lucrative business interests in China. He never would have shut that down, and we could have seen thousands of more American deaths. Thank goodness President Trump was in there and not Joe Biden.
Planning on making any other visits to Nebraska before the election?
Well, we have 12 days to go, so anything's possible. I don't yet know my schedule next week, but look, we're planning to work hard here. We have surrogates that are constantly rotating in on the ground, so we'll see. There's a possibility we could be back in Nebraska.